They're fundamentals of managing finances and becoming wealthy. Is this some super secret recipe to having money? Yes. Basic, straightforward, and simple strategies that are easy and timeless. Really? Strategies that say 5,000 years from now, if we're all still here, humans will say, yup, still works. Okay, I'm listening. And in just 10 minutes, these strategies can help you manage and grow your wealth wherever you are in your financial journey. I'm in! Teach me! This is what George Clason covers in his book, The Richest Man in Babylon. After almost 100 years since it was published, it's still considered a classic on personal finance and has sold over 2 million copies. Many of its readers say it should be required reading in schools, and thousands upon thousands review that it has changed their financial lives. The book is set in ancient Babylon, which is considered the birthplace of money and was probably the wealthiest civilization of the ancient world. There's a lot in the book, but in this video we'll cover 3 basic principles that the richest man in Babylon recommends to improve your finances, increase your wealth, and create financial freedom. Sounds good? Let's take it. But wait, for more great book summary videos, subscribe to our channel and hit the notification button. If you find this video helpful, click the like button and let us know what you think. Before we get into the 3 principles, it's important to note that Clason chose Babylon as the setting of his financial principles for reasons more than just its wealth. Why do you think Babylon was one of the wealthiest civilizations of the ancient world? What made it so rich? Can you guess? Comment if you have a guess. Some would think that it was a place with rich resources like nearby forests or rainfall for crops or mines filled with gold. But the truth is that Babylon was not surrounded by wealth. The main resource it has was its people. Babylon existed in a flat, arid valley besides one river. According to the book, through one of the most innovative engineering innovations of the ancient world, Babylon rerouted the water from that river into the land. This enabled them to grow crops which were exported as a main trade item. As a result, 100% of Babylon's wealth was man-developed and all its riches were man-made. This is significant. See, when a lot of people talk about wealth, they focus on how if they had this or that resource, they'd be wealthier. Yeah, like if I just had a better job or was born in a rich family or won the lottery, then I'd be wealthy. Sound familiar? But Babylon as a setting for the book serves as a great example of humans' ability to achieve great objectives using whatever means are at their disposal. So here's the concept Clason starts with, symbolized by this great city. Building wealth is about starting where you are, using what you have, and doing what you can. So come on, let's create a Babylon out of your financial situation. So the financial principles in The Richest Man in Babylon are taught through fictional stories and characters in Babylon. In the book, a king called King Sargon realizes that a lot of Babylon's wealth is held by just a few people and the masses are generally struggling. He wants all the people in Babylon to become wealthy. He tracks down Arkad, who is described as the richest man in Babylon, to see if there are basic principles on wealth creation that Arkad can teach. Arkad agrees to teach 100 men with the intention of those 100 teaching others to eventually spread the knowledge throughout Babylon. We'll cover 3 of these cures in this video. The first principle Arkad covers is pay yourself first. See, many people think that all their earnings belong to them, but in reality, they give most of it away. In Arkad's examples, the money is given away to the clothes maker, the landlord, and the shoemaker. Now, you may not have a shoemaker, so maybe that's the missing link to your financial situation. Get a shoemaker. But the first lesson before buying things or spending your money in other ways is that part of what you earn is yours to keep. When you make money, no matter how little you earn, Arkad teaches to keep no less than 1/10 of your income. 10% is the minimum he advises, but it can be as much as you can afford. Now, I've always found it interesting that in many places, saving is used to mean spending less money. Buy this shirt for $9.99. You save by not spending $12.99. According to me, saving is not spending less money. It is the active action of putting away money and basically paying yourself first. Agree? Disagree? Comment. But as we talk about the 10% rule, I can guess your top 3 challenges with this idea. Number 1, just 10%? Many would say this is nothing. Why bother? Won't make a difference. To this I say, wealth, like a tree, grows from a tiny seed. And also, as my mom says to me, if you can't handle a little money, you probably won't be able to handle more. Ugh, my mothers are right. And remember, if you can afford it, you can always do more than 10%. Second, but what about debt? The book suggests to always save 10% even if you're in debt. This ensures that even as you work your way out of owing money, you still have a place to create money from. Third, but my expenses are too high. I'll cover the answer to this challenge in the next principle. A final word though. If you have doubts on the impact 10% could have on your finances, consider the wise words of our card. Deride not what I say for its simplicity. Truth is simple. Regarding the third challenge, high expenses, many can relate to the question a student asked our card. What if I don't have 10%? What if my necessary expenses are so high and 10% is a strain? These questions lead us to the second principle, control your spending. In presenting this idea, our card teaches his students 4 principles. Study your expenses, don't confuse wants with needs, budget, and beware lifestyle inflation. First, study your expenses. See, money tends to have the habit of disappearing when you don't account for where it goes. Even little money. But if you sit down and look at the figures, you'll find expenses that can be reduced or eliminated. For example, there are certain expenses that I tend to put automatically on my card. One day, I decided to study my expenses and was surprised to learn that I was spending more than I wanted to on transport. After realizing this, I made certain adjustments that helped me spend less money, which is not saving, on transport, and was able to reroute that money more worthwhile. Second, don't confuse wants with needs. You might feel like you need to eat out all the time, or you need that extra pair of shoes. But I do. I mean, just like so cute. What you need is a roof over your head, food, not being barefoot unless you're into that, amongst other needs. As you separate wants from needs, know that everyone has more desires than their earnings can gratify. And creating long-term wealth will involve learning how to manage those desires. Just put it on my card. So first, meet your needs and don't get them mixed up with your wants. Third, create a budget that fits the 9/10 of your income that's left after you pay yourself. Okay, so when our card mentioned the word budget, one student stood up and said, and I quote, "I am a free man. I believe it is my right to enjoy the good things of life. Therefore, I rebel against the slavery of a budget that determines how much I may spend and for what." To him, our card replied, "Who, my friend, would determine the budget? You! After splitting your needs from your wants, it's okay to include some of your wants. Just keep it all within the remaining 90%. Finally, beware lifestyle inflation. For many people, once their income increases in any way, they start thinking of upgrading immediately. So for this, consider our card's words that what each of us calls necessary expenses will grow equal to our income unless we protest to the contrary. So protest! At the end of the day, the point is to protect your growing wealth, not to squander it as soon as it grows. Okay, so you're saving 10%, controlling your spending, attended a couple Babylonian block parties. The question on all our minds is, what do you do with a stash of cash? Should you just let it sit there, watching it accumulate, feeling proud of yourself as it grows? No. And that's what the third principle is all about. Put it to work. This is important for a few reasons. Inflation rates affect cash, so it's important to make your money work. Otherwise, over time, its value goes down as everything around you gets more and more expensive. Putting your money to work ensures that it has a chance to multiply while you're asleep, traveling, or on vacation. Vacation and making money? Ooh, I like that. And it creates opportunities for future you or your family who will benefit from the decision to make your money work. Let's see how the wealthy character in the book, our card, puts his money to work. A year into our card paying himself first and controlling his spending, he gives money to a brickmaker friend who's going to purchase jewels for a new business. Great, right? Not so. When he shares his news with his money mentor, a wealthy man called Algamish says, Why trust the knowledge of a brick maker about jewels? Would you go to a bread maker to inquire amongst the stars? Algamish is deep. So in the end, Algamish was right. The brick maker doesn't know much about the jewel business and our card loses his money. But he saves up for another year to try again. There's some lessons we can glean from this story. 1. Invest wisely. Give your money to people or organizations with honor and experience in that specific field. Bad advice or leaning on your own judgment can make you lose money. 2. Pick yourself back up. On the road to making money, you might lose some, but don't let that stop you from trying again. So the second year, our card loans money to Agar, a shield maker who wants to buy bronze. He makes interest from that loan as Agar, who already deals in metals, is successful in his business. So now he has new money. Hello, new money. Which brings us to the question, what do you do when your money makes new money? What does our card do? According to the book, he has a great feast with honey and fine wine and spiced cake. But before we judge our card for spending his extra mullah, this is quite common. When many people make more money, either from a new source or a higher paying job, they tend to inflate their lifestyle, which we talked about in the previous principle. And in response to our card spending his money in this way, his mentor shares the following lessons. First, wealth is in not how much money you have, it is in how much more income you're creating from it. Although accumulating is nice, focus more on multiplying what you accumulate because that is what creates wealth. Second, put back your earnings into what made you money. Reinvesting allows your initial amount to compound over time, which is called compound interest. As an example, if you invested, say, $100 into something that had a 10% compound interest rate, at the end of the first year, you'd have $110 if you choose to reinvest that interest and not spend it. In the second year, you'd earn 10% on not just the initial $100, but the new amount of $110. So at the end of the second year, you'd have $121. And in the third year, you'd earn 10% on the $121 and so on. By reinvesting the interest year after year, the money compounds, which means it would grow at a faster rate because the amount you're earning interest from keeps growing. One last thing. As you put your money to work, remember that you're going to have one enemy that will definitely show up when you decide to grow your wealth. Can you guess who it is? Is it the economy, your friends and family wanting to borrow it, or the government? Who is it? Well, all of those can pose different challenges, but according to the book, the biggest enemy that you'll face is your desire to procrastinate. As you consider investing, know that people are more likely to delay on an investment opportunity when they're right more than when they're wrong. I personally once wanted to buy stock in a bank I used to work for that was gaining a lot of momentum. And I dilly-dallied, forgot about it, and a few years later, I saw that the stock price was 4 times the original price. It's okay. This is not uncommon. So when you have a worthwhile investment, after doing the research and studying the market, do not delay. Take action. And for more tips on procrastination, watch our video, Eat That Frog. There's an I, something came up, right? Okay, so as I share this, I know you may be thinking, oh, why can't I just be lucky? Surely gambling, winning the lottery, or inheriting cash would be better? Well, consider that many lottery winners go broke, that gambling is an easier way to lose money than make it, and that the majority of millionaires are self-made. I know you don't want to hear this, but effort, persistence, and smart decisions create success, not gambling or a windfall of suddenly acquired wealth. Instead of looking for luck, look for opportunities. By seizing good opportunities, you create your own luck. Also, don't forget my mom's quote. If you can't handle a little money, you probably won't be able to handle more. At the end of the day, Clason's concepts are not just about getting you to a better place financially, but also about learning to value and see the opportunity in what you have, whatever that is. So there you have it, 3 of the 7 cures to a lean purse. Pay yourself first, control your spending, put your money to work. As you go about your financial life, remember the Babylonians didn't have a lot going on for them resource-wise. It was their creativity, ingenuity, and persistence that made them wealthy. Creating wealth doesn't start with having the perfect resources or circumstances. It starts with where you are. If you work hard, save, live within your means, and invest wisely, you can become wealthy. You can create your own Babylon. I believe in you. Team you. So let me know in the comment section. What was your biggest lesson from this video? Do you practice any of these principles? Ever struggled with procrastination when it comes to investing? The book has lots of great insights into financial principles that we didn't have the time to cover in this video. If you're interested in going deeper, check out the Shortform guide to The Richest Man in Babylon. Shortform makes the world's best guides to non-fiction books, complete with well-crafted exercises to help you learn faster and remember more. You can get a 5-day free trial and a discounted annual subscription if you go to shortform.com/YouTube. Click the link in the description below. And support the author and publisher by buying The Richest Man in Babylon. A link to buy the book is below as well. And finally, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss the next Shortform video. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.